It's great to be here this afternoon. Today, Michigan takes another step forward in the fight against sexual assault, both on and off our state's campuses. Today builds on the governor's proclamation issued early this month, declaring April Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Sexual assault prevention is not a partisan issue. It is not a race issue, and it's not a gender issue. Sexual assault is a human issue, and I am proud to know that Michigan is a leading state in bringing awareness to this important cause. It is imperative we continue to work together in an effort to protect our fellow Michiganders and ultimately bring an end to sexual assault. As many know, I have made it my mission as Michigan's First Lady to do what I can to ensure our state's campuses, our students' homes away from home, are as safe and supportive as possible. There are many integral partners in this initiative, and their support continues to be of great importance every day. Thank you first to Representative Pagan, who brought us all together today and led the charge in further recognizing April as a time to highlight prevention efforts. Thank you to Senators Shoemaker and Warren, who led the charge in the Senate, and thank you to Representative Cox for her work in the House as well. I also want to thank Senators Warren and Shoemaker and Representative Cox and Representative Lane, who's here with us today, for their support in planning last year's Inform, Empower, Prevent, Let's End Campus Sexual Assault, our summit, as well as for their ongoing dedication to this cause. We also have Gail Krieger from the Michigan Domestic and Sexual Violence Prevention and Treatment Board here today, as well as Kathy Hagian. Haganian. Oh, I knew I'd say it wrong, sorry. From the Michigan Coalition to End Domestic and Sexual Violence. Both these organizations do fantastic work every day to help ensure assault survivors are treated respectfully and have the access to the support services they deserve. The board and the coalition continue to be strong and in this effort and fierce assault prevention advocates. Sexual assault has been a taboo topic across the country for far too long. It's time we get everyone talking about it in an effort to stop it from happening. I'm a big believer that we need to talk about the tough issues if we're going to solve them. These resolutions today will help keep people talking, but talking is not enough. We must continue to explore new and innovative strategies to end assault. Action is the most important step in prevention. I believe Michigan should be a leader in addressing these issues, and it's a very important national issue as well. There's a great deal of work already being done by our colleges and universities aimed at preventing assault, but there's always more that can be done. Last spring, we kicked off the campaign by hosting a statewide summit. We brought together legislators, university presidents and representatives, law enforcement, topic experts, and students for a day of productive conversation. The goal of the summit was to inform stakeholders, empower individuals, and ultimately contribute to our state's assault prevention strategies. As a result, the governor proposed and the legislature approved $500,000 to fund new, innovative, and student-focused prevention efforts on campuses across our state. Michigan is the first state in the nation to dedicate budget dollars for this specific purpose. Grants were awarded this past November, and projects are underway. At the time grant applications were due, we received requests for more than $1.6 million, proving the need to renew this funding again this year. An additional $500,000 was included in the governor's February proposed budget. We're keeping our fingers crossed. This initiative has truly been a collaborative effort. Since its launch, we have received so much support from our schools. This has truly opened the door for more conversation and, in turn, more action. In Michigan, we can be proud that we're taking a stand against assault. It's a long and complicated issue, but in our state, we have a track record of facing the tough challenges head on. With that, I would like to introduce Senators Shoemaker and Warren, sponsors of our Senate resolutions, to recognize April in Michigan as Assault Awareness Month and Campus Assault Awareness Month.
Well, thank you. It is such a pleasure and honor to be here, not only with our First Lady, but with such a diverse group of bipartisan supporters from the House and the Senate. Sexual assault does not discriminate by party or political beliefs, and we stand here united in our efforts to bring awareness and education on this important topic. We are here because sexual assault is a crime that affects nearly everyone here in our state in some way. According to the Michigan State Police, 11,873 sexual assaults were reported to law enforcement in 2013. But we also know that this is an area of crime that is grossly underreported. So that 11,873 that we know about represents probably a lot more than that. One of the most important things we can do as members of the legislature is to let people know that this is a real crime, that it's happening in our communities, and that there are actions that we can take together to prevent it from happening again. We need to encourage victims to report their assaults, and we need to make sure we're there to support them through the process. We also need to make sure that victims and survivors have access to the services that they need and deserve when they are victims of crime. We were honored today in the Senate to pass a resolution to designate April as Sexual Assault Awareness Month in recognition of this problem. I was proud to be the sponsor of that with my partner, Senator Shoemaker, who helped co-sponsor the other resolution that she'll talk about next. We're proud to be able to work on this in a bipartisan way to make sure that we lift our voices, to talk about education, to talk about prevention, and to make sure that we send a signal in a bipartisan way that we can do something about this. As the First Lady said, we're a state that's used to taking action, and we can take action, and we can change some of these horrifying statistics that are happening in our communities every day. To talk about her role in the Campus Assault Awareness Resolution, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Tanya Shoemaker. Senator, please join us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I would echo that it's quite an honor to be here with the First Lady and also my wonderful esteemed colleagues and those that are on the front lines every day making our communities safer. Both the House and Senate, the House later on today, are adopting resolutions, and the Senate did this morning. One for Campus Sexual Assault Awareness Month is the one I sponsored, which was co-sponsored by Senator Warren. And sexual assault is a particular challenge on college campuses. Far too many of our students are being sexually assaulted while in college, but college and universities are in a unique position to help and create and foster an environment where sexual abuse is intolerable and prevention is a priority. Michigan is blessed to have amazing universities that are preparing our students to be successful in life. Our students should be able to learn without the fear of being assaulted. That is why Senator Warren, Representative Lane, Representative Cox have worked with the First Lady, and I want to particularly call out her for her efforts in spearheading the Let's End Campus Sexual Assault Initiative last June, which the task force brought together over 500 university students, law enforcement, stakeholders, and legislators for discussion about the best ways to inform our students, empower survivors, bystanders, and prevent sexual assault on college campuses. And what was very heartfelt is I got a call from a constituent of mine that I've known my entire life who had heard about this through social media and felt that she needed to take part in this, and so that she was a victim herself. I did not know that, but First Lady, you are making a huge difference, so I thank you for that. Since then, the Campus Sexual Assault Grant Program has awarded a total of $500,000 to 22 universities around the state, supporting programs designed to end sexual assault. This is only one of several critical efforts happening in Michigan. I will now turn it over to Kathy Haganian, who is the Executive Policy Director of the Michigan Coalition to End Domestic and Sexual Violence, to describe a few of the other programs that are making a difference on these critical issues. And I can't say enough about the work. I've worked with Kathy since she got here. You dedicate your life to this, and we thank you very much. So without further ado.
Well, thank you so much, Senator Shoemaker, Representative Cox, Representative Pagan, Senator Warren, First Lady, no particular order, but thank you to everyone who is here with us today. I am Kathy Haganian. I'm with the Michigan Coalition to End Domestic and Sexual Violence, and I am honored to have the opportunity to bring forward today the experience and voices of survivors and the advocates that serve survivors across our state. This is such important work. The Coalition is a membership organization, and we represent the sexual assault and domestic violence programs across our state. At the Coalition, we are dedicated to making these crimes, this issue, unthinkable, but not unspeakable. And so today, it's so heartening to hear everyone talk about making the voices of survivors heard, making the issue heard, making it not only an issue where people can come forward and get help, but where our communities can talk about the issues, and prevention is real and prevention is possible. It is my pleasure and honor today to introduce you to representatives of two of the member programs of the Coalition, and that is Joyce Siegel from Sexual Assault Services of Calhoun County and Catherine Stratford from First Step. And they're gonna come up and talk a little bit about the incredible work they do.
I'm Joyce Siegel from Sexual Assault Services of Calhoun County, and that's in Battle Creek. Thank you for inviting me to speak about serving sexual assault survivors who are victims of sexual assault. For almost 20 years, I have had the honor of working with survivors in Battle Creek and throughout Calhoun County. We are fortunate in our community to offer comprehensive services to survivors. In 1996, a group of citizens in Calhoun County held a summit where participants decided they wanted comprehensive sexual assault services in our community. And when I say comprehensive services, this is what I'm talking about. A 24-hour crisis line, a 24-hour crisis response team that includes a victim advocate and a sexual assault nurse examiner. We have a children's advocacy center where child victims are offered a multidisciplinary team response. And we also have counseling and support at our offices for individual victims of sexual assault, and for groups and for families. And also for what we call secondary victims, the friends and family members of victims. And we also have a sexual assault prevention education program in our community, and we do community awareness activities. We provide services to people who have been recent victims of sexual violence, maybe hours, days, weeks, and also to those who have waited for whatever reason for maybe years to report a sexual assault or to seek services. We provide services to people of all ages. We've had infant victims, and we've had people in their 90s, and everything in between. Sexual assault is not a problem experienced by only certain people in certain circumstances. It is something experienced by anyone at any age in vulnerable circumstances. These services are provided with a basic philosophy that survivors know themselves what they best need. We are here to listen, to support, to provide options to sort through feelings, and to help survivors determine for themselves their own path toward regaining control and safety in their lives. Sometimes that involves a criminal justice or a system outcome, but many times it does not. Even in our medical and child advocacy center programs, the work is centered around what is best for this survivor, for the family, for the child, for the survivor herself or himself. Our approach includes exploring ways that survivors can break the silence that shrouds the issue of sexual assault. When we can talk about it, we have begun to do real work in prevention of future sexual assault by refusing to pretend that it doesn't affect each one of us. So we have worked to give voice to survivors by raising awareness in our community, engaging others to talk about it. We use things like art therapy, non-traditional type therapies as safe ways for survivors to have voice. We hold support groups where survivors can speak in safety and receive validation of their experience. We take child survivors for a week of summer day camp where they can know that they are not alone in the context of enjoying typical childhood activities. We are fortunate in Calhoun County, and yet we know there are many we have yet to reach with information about our services and that we're here to help. I encourage us all to break the silence about sexual assault, to risk working with others so that all communities in Michigan are able to provide a safe place for survivors to know they are not alone. That is a start, and as we have realized in Calhoun County, it is a great place to begin what could be much more. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Catherine Stratford, and I'm from First Step in Wayne County. I'm glad to be here with you today. So who are sexual assault survivors? Sexual assault survivors are people in our lives. They are our sisters, they are our daughters, our nieces, our cousins, our sons, our brothers, our coworkers, and our friends. They are people who we love. That's who survivors are. So what would we want for the people that we love who have been sexually assaulted? We would want them to be able to receive services from trained professionals, from people who are caring and compassionate, who are understanding, and who have information about sexual assault. That's what we would want for our survivors, for our loved ones. Joyce talked about the comprehensive services, and First Step also has those comprehensive services. The 24-hour helpline is that place for survivors to be able to call. It might be when they are first assaulted and they reach out and they are scared and they need somebody to talk to. It may be in the middle of the night when they are having a flashback or a nightmare and they need somebody to talk them through that. So often the 24-hour line really becomes a lifeline for survivors. We have so many comprehensive services that we provide to individuals, to families, and to go out into the communities so that we can educate and raise awareness, go into the schools, talk to young people, so we can create the change that needs to happen in our society. The goal in awareness and education is to provide support to survivors. What we really want to do is we want to stop the perpetrators. That we want to be able to say there is no more need for comprehensive services. Until that time, our loved ones need comprehensive services. Until that time, every sexual assault survivor deserves to have access to comprehensive services. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Joyce and Catherine and to all the people in your organizations who are doing incredible work every day, not only to meet the needs of survivors, but also, again, on that community basis, to make this issue speakable and to work on the prevention efforts. The coalition, along with many other very important dedicated groups, are working very hard together to make sure these kind of comprehensive services, both intervention and prevention, are available across our state. Unfortunately, in more than half of the counties in our states, we do not have comprehensive sexual violence prevention and service programs. We're working very hard at the coalition level to change that, because we believe that every community and every survivor, from Detroit to Dowagiac, from Monroe to Marquette, everywhere in between, needs these types of programs until we can put ourselves out of business. So we will be working hard on that, and we call on our whole state to help build the capacity and the resources to make that possible. I'd like to turn it over now to Representative Pagan, and right behind me, to talk about those issues.
Well, thank you so much. As Kathy said, I'm State Representative Christy Pagan, and it's an honor to stand with you and such a remarkable group who are committed to working together to end sexual assault. I also wanted to take a moment to say how truly appreciative we are of the resources and support services that these incredible organizations provide to the people of Michigan. Thank you for being here today. And I know there are a few people in the audience from different organizations who are also committed to getting to the point where they too can offer some sort of crucial services to survivors. I applaud their commitment and welcome a continued discussion on how we can ensure that we have the best resources available for comprehensive programs to help all sexual assault survivors throughout Michigan. Sexual assault, as you know, is a complex issue, and it will take effective strategies to address the root causes and end sexual assault once and for all. Awareness is critical. Getting people to talk about this issue is critical. The more we can do together to educate, to prevent sexual assault, to support survivors, and to ensure that survivors are not re-victimized is critical. Which is why I'm so proud to stand here today to bring attention to both sexual assault and Campus Sexual Assault Awareness Month. It's an honor now to welcome my colleague, Representative Laura Cox.
Thank you. I want to first say thank you to the First Lady for taking time today to come and talk to you about something that she has obviously taken by the reins, which is stopping campus sexual assault. And as a mother of a college student, it's very important. And we all have some kind of relative, and we want to make sure that our kids are safe on campuses. So I really appreciate all the hard work you've done, and I think it really is going to show some results. And as we spoke about the $500,000 in grants, it was just, hopefully it's just the beginning. So that's a good thing. I'd also like to commend the progress that has been made by Sexual Assault and the Evidence Kit Commission. Along with the tracking committee, in that commission, I sit on with Senator Shootmaker, and I know Kathy's a part of this as well. This committee aims to develop guidelines in a plan to implement a uniform system to track the location of sexual assault evidence kits in Michigan. Senator Shootmaker and I will follow up on any changes in the law or policy that need support to implement these plans coming from the commission. Behind each kit is a story. It's a vulnerable woman or a man who's looking to us, her citizens in her state, to bring her justice or him justice, and to do everything we can to prevent the next victim. So that's why the evidence kits are very important. In the general government budget, we appropriated $3.4 million in the last 2 years through the Attorney General's budget to test the backlog kits and also to assist in the prosecution of these crimes. So I think it's really important, and the state has taken a really hard stand on making sure that we know that we're going to handle this situation, and we know that it's very important. I'm proud to be a part of this bipartisan team and to put an end to campus sexual assault on and off campuses throughout the state of Michigan, as well as, I misspoke, sexual assault on and off campuses in the state of Michigan. Teamwork is paramount in finding solutions to the growing issue, and we will continue to make it strides towards a very safe and better Michigan for all.